How often have you either made a referral of a visitor to a local parish priest for continued liturgical worship, or received and counseled a parishioner who was in spiritual conflict with their parish priest? How do you feel about these challenges? You have 2 minutes.
Well,
again, it's an invitation to kind of articulate a little bit of those dynamics between the
absolutely. I have to say, I really appreciate the question, because that is so much where, as a therapist, I live most of my life is where things start slipping into the cracks and the seams of life. And I'll say, just last week I recommended a particular client attend a parish that I knew of because I knew who the priest was. I knew basically the way the worship in that particular parish went. And there are better fits for some people in different parishes. And we're lucky here in Boston. God, we have dozens and dozens of parishes to choose from. So that actually, it just happened in the past week, and I wouldn't say it happens often, but it happens regularly. As far as hearing about people in a struggle or conflict with a spiritual father or spiritual leader, that is also common. And the way that I understand my role there is not to separate somebody from their sources of spiritual sustenance or the relationships that they have within the church. But I will say that I am ethically bound, and I don't think just by virtue of my secular licensure as a psychologist, but I think as somebody who's imbued with the trust that comes with the relationship. If I'm hearing about something that just doesn't sound right, be it within a spiritual care relationship, I would actively intervene in that and make recommendations that the person seek out a level of separation that they needed. That is extraordinarily rare. Maybe once or twice in 20 years of doing this have I come across that. More often than not, it's about understanding ways in which the relationship a person has with their spiritual guide or spiritual father is taking on pattern dynamics that are much older than that relationship, and trying to help them work through some of that so that they can get what they need spiritually.
Great. Yolanda, your name was actually on this same question as well. How often have you either made a referral of a visitor to a local parish priest for continued local liturgical worship, or received and counseled a parishioner who is in spiritual conflict with their parish priest?
It does come up at the monastery too. We get a lot of visitors that had conflict in the parish for whatever reason, or a disagreement with their priest for whatever reason. And in general, usually we're just the complaint department. We hear the complaints and we just try to send them back and remind them of the beauty of their parish and all the things they put into it. But it's unfortunate that we're all too human sometimes, and we get bogged down with the negative, our human weaknesses. So we try not to collect parishioners at the monastery.